In the home stretch of the USL Championship regular season, and dire straits for both the Las Vegas Lights and Miami FC in their respective playoff chases. A very glimmer of hope at the end of the tunnel, but not much to cling to. Near must-win territory. Happy to have you with us this evening on ESPN Plus, alongside Manchester United great Gary Bailey. I'm Joe Malfa. It's a new era here for Vegas, bringing on Devin Rensing as the head coach toward the end of this season, and they've steadied in his 5 games at the helm.
Very, very decent. It's a win, 3 draws and a loss. He said, in fact, if this was the start of the season, he'd be reasonably happy. Of course, he's taken over a team in desperate trouble, and he needs wins. Otherwise, they're not going to make the playoffs.
One of the players they've been able to hang their hat on all season long is the goalkeeper, Raiko Arozarena.
A whole bunch of clean sheets, 9 of them there. Absolutely brilliant. When they lose, they get hammered 4 or 5 and more. But generally speaking, though, they're a very hard defense to break down.
Miami on the other side have really struggled. They haven't won a game since mid-June, and they're not really tying games either. In that stretch, 7 losses, just 3 draws.
Defensively not good enough. Certainly they're not taking enough goals as well at the other end, but not clearing their lines for balls that are whipped in, crosses not getting to them first. Goodrum gets on the end of that one. That was from a long throw, giving away penalties. They've got the 4th worst goals against record in the league, and goal difference is the 2nd worst. They're not scoring enough either.
The real silver lining, though, has been up top. Francisco Bonfiglio, he is in the midst of the Golden Boot chase.
Amazing that he can be in the midst of that, and still the team is struggling at the foot of the table in the East. But credit to him, he's a wonderful finisher. 13 goals. Playing for a team that is really struggling is a great return.
And desperate times call for desperate measures, as the old cliche goes, and it also can make for some really fun games. Both these teams feel very much adrift, but if they want any hope at making the playoffs, it has to start tonight. It's the Las Vegas Lights welcoming Miami FC, and it's next on ESPN Plus.
As a Great Clips salon stylist, I love giving customers the look they want. With Clip Notes, we save your haircut details, so it's one less thing for you to worry about. And when I see that confidence at the end of the cut, that's everything to me.
As a stylist, I know it can be hard to find time for a haircut. With the Great Clips app, you can put your name on the list from anywhere and head to the salon when it's time for your cut. A great haircut plus more time for what you love. That's Great Clips.
Desert Radiology is the area's chief resource for the highest quality medical imaging and diagnostic care.
We are proud to offer 9 locations across the valley.
As a member of the community for over 50 years, Desert Radiology is proud to be the official imaging partner of the Las Vegas Lights. To learn more, visit desertrad.com. That's desertrad.com. Let's go Lights!
This is speed. This is winning. This is losing. This is smoke and fire. This is high stakes and wild cards. This is family and tradition. This is everything on the line. This is it. This is NASCAR in Las Vegas. The South Point 400, a NASCAR playoff race, October 10th through 12th. Get your tickets now. LVMS.com.
Tonight's match is brought to you by Southern Nevada Water Authority. Remember to change your watering clocks for fall. Water grass only 3 days a week. And by Great Clips. Meet tonight's starting lineup brought to you by Richard Harris Law Firm.
2 changes from the team that drew at Phoenix. Giorgio Probo comes in just for his 2nd appearance. Chris Pearson drops to the bench. And Coleman Gannon is back from a small injury. Mackenzie Gaines go to the bench in a 4-3-3 sort of lineup. Good strike force of Rodriguez, Pickering, and Gannon.
It's a first start for Pro Bowl for Vegas. His only appearance previously for the club came off the bench, so we'll get a good look at him tonight. And your lineup on the other side brought to you by the Richard Harris Law Firm for Miami. Looks like this.
One change from the side that lost to Hartford. Tobias Zarate comes in, Lucas Milana out. It's a 4-3-3 shape. Of course, Bonfilio, second in the Golden Boot race, is the player that all eyes will be on. But look at Gavilanes doing good work to supply him down that left-hand side.
Vegas tonight wearing their blacks with the blue sleeves. Miami with their white road uniforms. They'll go from left to right. Vegas from right to left. Abdou Ndiaye, the referee, wearing red this evening. This is where the rubber meets the road for these two teams. Yes, very much losing records for both of them. 6-11-6 for Vegas, 5-13-5 for Miami. But the way things look above them, hope of a playoff berth is still real. Vegas 5 points back at the playoff line with 6 matches to go after tonight. Miami 6 points back at the playoff line with 6 games to go after tonight. Both reasonable, but the recent form Miami has been in, it feels a little bit tougher. Vegas have steadied the ship. A win and a draw in their last 2. 1-1-3 in their last 5 under Coach Rensing since taking over. Can they keep their momentum going here at home? The captain, Tommy McNamara, gets us going at Cashman. Happy to have you with us here this evening alongside Manchester United great Gary Bailey. I'm Joe Malfa. These are always the ones that tend to surprise you in terms of some of the sheer chaos that can exist on a night like this between two teams that are absolutely desperate for a result. We'll see if that comes to fruition over the 90.
It certainly is a situation for both sides where if you don't win tonight, the chances of you making the playoffs are very small. And for the simple reason that they are both struggling. They're going to come up against much better sides in the remaining games. So both coaches will look at the opposition and go, well, if ever we're going to pick up 3 points, it's here tonight. That's what makes it exciting. Both these teams feel they can win it.
And I think that's what really has made this league exciting over this entire season, is that there is no team that is out of it, that is eliminated for sure here at this stage of the season, with after tonight for most teams 6 or maybe 7 games remaining.
And just talking to both coaches, Gaston Modoni saying, you know what, other than maybe 45 minutes against Hartford, 45 minutes against Charleston, other than those two, we've not been played off the park at all. We've been in every game. We've lost games normally by just the 1 goal. Yes, it is 13 in all competitions since they last won, but they've looked decent in most of those games. And Devin Rensing even saying it's a quality side with some very unpredictable players.
And we've seen time and again this year, teams go from the cellar up to the playoff line. All you need to do is string 2 or 3 games together. Easier said than done. But even just look last week, New Mexico were a team that were falling like a stone. They fell from top of the table to 8th place. Then they win back-to-back games, and they go from 8th up to 3rd. That is the nature of this league right now. Just rattle a couple of games in a row together, and you've got a shot.
Well, the key is exactly what you said. It's wins. It's not draws. That's not going to help you. It's a win, and for both these teams, that's critical tonight.
Zarate just lost it. Keys to the game presented by Finley Toyota. What do you got for us, Gary?
Devin Rensing saying, you know, we're creating chances. We've got to be clinical. Now, every coach says that, but he basically says we're not going to get up the table unless we start really scoring. So he wants his strikers to hit some special form at the moment. And for Gaston Modoni, he says we'll find gaps between the centre backs and the full backs.
Chance to score here. Rodriguez saved by Campisi, and now the flag does come up. Seems a close one for Johnny Rodriguez, who leads the way this year for Las Vegas with 7 goals.
I was talking about Miami finding gaps. Las Vegas find a nice little gap there in that defense. Unfortunately, offside. Nice touch there coming from Patrick Leal. But that's what Gaston Modoni wants his side to do at the other end of the pitch. Try and find some space between centre-backs and fullbacks when the fullbacks push forward. And he believes that in particular, Alan Gavilanes can cause all sorts of problems down the left-hand side.
And tonight's injury report presented by AMR and Medic West Ambulance. Nothing reported officially from either side. Sean Smart unavailable for Las Vegas. due to a knock, and Roy O'Driscoll is a player serving out his suspension from last week, picked up the red card. So some players unavailable, but no official injuries of length or of note to report on either side. This is rare for this time of season. It's a good thing, though. There was an offside called in the end there. Hamdou Ndiaye just alerted from his assistant referee. We have seen some insane results here this evening. On the note of, again, this game potentially having the looks of one of those that really could open up between these two teams that are both struggling and both desperate. We saw a 3-3 between Tampa Bay and Colorado Springs. We saw a 3-3 between the Charleston Battery and the Oakland Roots as well. And a 5-2 San Antonio on the road over Loudoun. So goals have been a theme here this evening throughout USL Championship.
If I heard right, I thought Loudoun were leading in that match until they had a red card.
And then it completely turned.
Yeah. And that's what you're looking for in these games. It's just something to break your way. I'm not saying you want to get players sent off, but if they get themselves in trouble, or if you get an own goal, or a goalkeeper makes an error, just something that can break. Because chatting to Gaston Modoni, he says no more excuses. He said there's just game after game that we should have picked up points we haven't. He said, I'm tired of it now. We need to limit errors and take more chances. He said, as far as I'm concerned, no more excuses. That was his big comment.
McNamara has brought stability and experience to this Vegas midfield. Popped up over the top, flag stays down for now. Coleman Gannon. McNamara slipping it through, looking again for Gannon, intercepted by Romero.
See what he was trying to do, trying to slip that ball through to Gannon. If it had come off, Gannon was through. It's great to see him back. He's one of those players I've enjoyed watching at Las Vegas Lights. I think he has real quality. And with Valentin Noel leaving, I think he's the guy who can step up.
Flag stays down again, slipped in behind for Knight Pickering. They are timing it up to perfection so far. These runs in behind against Miami Vegas.
It's a lovely front three. Coleman, Gannon, Johnny Rodriguez, Knight Pickering. There's quality there. There should be goals coming, which is what Devin Rensing wants. And I wouldn't be surprised if they get them here tonight.
McNamara switches for Yunus Budati. Probo switching back the other way. Gannon settles. Coleman Gannon lost it to Jonathan Ricketts. He takes him down. The USL on CBS Sports Network continues in September with a League One battle of old versus new. The Richmond Kickers, one of the oldest continually operated active clubs in the U.S., takes on newcomer Portland Hearts of Pine. That's Wednesday, September 17th, 6:30 Eastern on CBS Sports Network. Foul goes against Patrick Leal. Mitrano looking wide. That ball was out for a Vegas throw. Not really stringing anything together on the ball so far, Miami. Only 10 completed passes through nearly 8 minutes.
It's not the quality that's going to break down this Las Vegas defense, who, when they played their last match against Phoenix, they held Phoenix to an expected goal of 0.19 the entire match. I mean, that is brilliant defending, and Devin Rensing certainly got them tighter in defense. Miami will have to do a lot better than what we've seen so far if they're going to break down Las Vegas.
Thrust ahead, let through, it comes all the way across for Coleman Gannon, saved by Campisi. First look on goal for Vegas.
Well, they've been threatening, haven't they? That ball's been in that box a few times. Good strike, good save as well from the new goalkeeper, just his 4th appearance for Miami since he's moved from Tampa Bay. Have a look. Kills it, stone dead, hits it. You'd expect the keeper to make the save, but decent strike from Coleman Gannon.
Vasquez. After the way this season started for Miami, it seemed like a team that were maybe on the brink of going from worst in the league last year to a playoff team this year. And the bottom fell out. To your point, they haven't really been hammered in these games. They've been close, but close doesn't earn you points, and that's why they are still as adrift as they are.
It's been very, very frustrating. Just talking to Gaston Modoni, the coach, he literally saying we've created enough chances, we've made silly mistakes and got punished. Even in the last match, they lost at home to Hartford. Zarate hit the crossbar in the 84th minute. Things like that are just not going their way.
It's almost reminiscent of a couple of years ago when Milan Olaski was outstanding for Orange County, Golden Boot, in the MVP conversation, and a team that was well below the playoff line. And this year, it's Bonfiglio in that role, who's 2 goals off the Golden Boot pace for a team that is at the bottom of the Eastern Conference. They have a bright individual star this year, but just haven't put it together in terms of results as a team. Vasquez clips it in, dangerous ball. Couldn't redirect it on goal, Jonathan Ricketts.
He gives the thumbs up, and not surprised either. That was a really good ball. Sort of ball that a keeper can't come for, but it's sort of 6 to 8 yards out. So if you do make a contact, you're close enough to goal to beat the keeper. It was an excellent ball there, and Jonathan Ricketts, brave, threw his head at it, just couldn't get a clean contact.
Las Vegas Lights are proud to be working with the Southern Nevada Water Authority. Remember to change your watering clocks for fall water grass only 3 days per week. Physical from Nigro in on Vasquez. We've seen a few stiff challenges already in this one.
I guess such a vital match. I think as a player, you know that this is the moment you have to get the 3 points. Gaston Modoni's been having a go at his players, saying no more excuses. Devin Rensing's probably said if you want to make the playoffs, you have to beat a team such as Miami, who are bottom of the table in the East. So there's a lot riding on this for the players and their, their future contracts, their confidence, their sort of future ability to go onto higher levels. Hence, I think you'll see this get a bit chippy and a lot of good commitment from both sides, I would expect.
Good news on the Vegas side, jockeying for position down near the bottom with Monterey Bay. They're at home, Monterey Bay, but they're losing 1-0 against Hartford Athletic. Sacramento up 2-0 at home on Phoenix. Phoenix, one of those two teams, was coming into the day. Phoenix and Colorado Springs on 30 points each that were at the playoff line that Vegas are looking up at and chasing. So it's 2 good results right there right now for Vegas. Just have to take matters into their own hands with a result of their own here, of course.
Yeah, that's the key. It's one thing the clubs around you dropping points, but you have to pick up points, and it's because you're far adrift. You're not even close. Both these sides need to make up 6 or so points, and then on top of that, catch up with whatever their rivals are scoring. So it's a lot to ask.
But again, a testament to how quickly things change. If Vegas take care of business and win at home here tonight, if Sacramento hold on to a 2-0, look out. Given away carelessly by Nigro. Come back to that in a second. Vasquez. Ricketts. So Sacramento take care of business, up 2-0 on Phoenix, and Vegas can win at home here. At the end of tonight, with 6 games remaining, all of a sudden Vegas are only 3 points out of a playoff spot. So you are right there. Barreling through this right side. It's Johnny Rodriguez for a throw. Pardon me, Yunus Boudadi.
I think one of the reasons to add to why Las Vegas need to win here today, their next 3 matches are all away against Lewis City, Pittsburgh, and Rhode Island.
Yeah, difficult, to say the least. Gavilanes runs out of room. Not only 3 difficult opponents, but 3 straight west to east road trips as well.
Madoni there just mumbling under his breath. It's been a tough season for him. And to your point earlier, it was a good start, so there was so much hope, I'm sure, of Miami FC that this team would be a vast improvement on last year's problems, but yeah, they are occupying the same spot, bottom of the table.
Whipped in though from the corner. Show for a handball there in the area from Cesar Garcia, goes unanswered. Similar story for Monterey Bay. Mentioned them a moment ago. 2 teams, Monterey Bay and Miami, who started this year on fire, but just had the bottom fall out. Leal dispossessed and then commits the foul.
And there's teams like Lexington and in the west, Hartford in the east, who started off slowly, have put together some fantastic runs, Hartford in particular, and now they're well into a safe playoff spot.
Hartford also put on a clinic this year in terms of how to work a roster. Got all they did early in the year from Momo Dieng. They sell him off, and they bring in Haji Berry with the funds they acquire for Mamadou Dieng. Into the area now, Pickering going for goal, saved by Campisi. That is 2 stellar saves for Nico Campisi. Actually, 3 times that he's made a stop. One of those was pulled back for an offside, but he's been up to the task in the first 15 minutes.
It's a lovely cut inside here. Coleman Gannon gets on this ball, comes inside, head up, left foot. As we said earlier, he's such a clever striker. Both those saves have come from the same player, Coleman Gannon. And if they keep feeding him the ball, I think they're going to get some joy here tonight, Las Vegas.
Corner kick brought to you by Richard Harris Law Firm. It's misjudged by Campisi, and we'll do it again from the opposite side. Another corner brought to you by the Richard Harris Law Firm.
Early pressure coming from the home side, and not seeing much for Rosarina to do at the other end of the pitch, which is again a concern for coach Gaston Madoni, no doubt. It's one thing having to defend, you also want to trouble the opposing goalkeeper at some stage.
Negro into a dangerous area. Maybe 3rd time's the charm for Vegas. Come back down in this near sideline. Another Richard Harris Law Firm corner. Negro will venture across again.
Negro having a decent season, 5 assists to his name. That's just 3 behind the best in the USL. He's had a bunch of chances created and 7th most crosses, so impressive.
Miami holds strong off 3 straight corners from Vegas. Gannon rolls it back. Boudadi. McNamara. Anthony Herbert coming over from New Mexico. Toronto. Pressure for Vegas, wins it back. You can watch the USL Championship in Spanish on TUDN, the nation's leading Spanish language sports network. Select matches available in Spanish throughout the rest of the season. Go to USLChampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. Gartig. Nigro whiffs.
Nigro, fantastic left foot. Right foot, maybe not quite as good. Like I said, some wonderful stats for his crosses and chances created for his side this season.
To be fair, I don't really know if we can say his right foot not as good because he didn't really make contact with it. That was more a hand-eye coordination problem.
Giorgio Probo just getting up there, the new signing in just his second appearance, first start, as you mentioned, coming in from Canadian leagues. Of course, Valentin Noel having left a couple of months ago. A big loss, I would think. Such a talented player.
He went back and reunited with Dennis Sanchez. He was the head coach here last year in Vegas, now on to New Mexico. Guided Vegas to their first ever conference final appearance last year, losing to eventual champions Colorado Springs. Now he has New Mexico in third, at least entering the day they were in third. Oh, they are still in third. I'm gonna double check that for a second because that is the nature of the conference right now, but they are still in third place in the West. 6 back of Sacramento. Free kick coming from Miami. The battle for first is slowly emerging to be an entertaining one in the Western Conference. Tulsa on 44 points, Sacramento on 40. The Republic have a game in hand on Tulsa. So breathing down Tulsa's necks.
And on top of that, making the Jaeger Cup final. It's been a fantastic season after a slow start. They were, funny enough, sat in about 8th position, Sac Republic. And it was 2 matches back-to-back with Las Vegas, 5-0 and then in the league and 4-0 in the cup or vice versa.
Was that all it was? it felt like more on the night. You and I were on the call for that one as Probo picks up a yellow here. It is a real testament to Devin Rensing, though. You look again at the foul and Probo picking up the yellow. It's a testament to what he's been able to do over this last month since taking over. This is a Vegas team that was really broken in many ways. Had a short spell in there where interim in charge changed things a little bit, but not too much for Vegas. It wasn't until Devin Rensing took over that things really started to look more on solid ground, more like the Vegas of last year that was a team that was a title contender. And why not? It's going back to the well and hoping it works out again. Dennis Sanchez from that Ben Pierman Charleston Battery coaching tree. Devin Rensing coming over from the Charleston Battery. I don't think it's an accident that we've seen this Vegas team look lively again and have an outside shot at making the playoffs again because of it.
A lot of it can be belief in the coach as well. When you start to trust the coach and good things happen. And the first coach this year, the former Miami coach, he really struggled. Then Gio Troisi, who was the assistant at Miami, his assistant here, thought he could turn it around. He did. I think the first couple of games got good results, and then that didn't quite work out. So now they have a coach that they know his background. They know what he's done at Charleston Battery with Ben Pierman. I think there's a sense of belief that they can do something special if they just follow his instructions.
And again, not too far-fetched. They take care of business at home tonight and win. Sacramento holds on to a 2-0 lead against Phoenix. We're talking about a 3-point deficit with 6 games to play. It's well within the realm of possibility for Vegas. But they have to hold up their end of the bargain.
And just forget about the early part of the season. Their goal difference as it stands is the worst in the USL. So you know they haven't been good most of the season. But you need to forget about those games, forget about what happens, forget about the 4- and 5-0 hammerings by Sac Republic, and believe that under Devin Rensing, things can come right.
Hoping that this attack can come right under Coleman Gannon. Back for Nigro.
By the way, everything we say about Las Vegas, you can say about Miami. If they get a win here, if they can really believe in Gaston Madoni, and to be fair, they haven't been, as we said, they haven't really been outplayed like Las Vegas have. Las Vegas have taken some hammerings. Miami haven't. So if they can get it together, if they can get some momentum under Gaston Madoni, who says they can't go on and still make the playoffs? Unlikely, of course, in the East, but possible.
It's an interesting conversation to delve into. The West is almost assuredly stronger, I think, top to bottom in the East this year. So it would stand to reason you'd think it'd be harder for Vegas to make the playoffs as a result. But because the West will sort of cannibalize itself down the stretch here, because it's so tough and so many of these teams are so good, it might suppress that point total that you need to get to at the end in 8th place. So because the West is harder, it actually might make the 8th place point total less than the West than it'll be in the East. Two ways of looking at it: glass half empty, glass half full. If you're Vegas and chasing that 8th spot, same on the other side for Miami. Halfway through this first half, still scoreless here in Vegas. Alongside Gary Bailey, I'm Joe Malfa. Glad to have you with us tonight on ESPN Plus. Bonfiglio with Ricketts, uses him. Ricketts trying to get it back to Bonfiglio. Intercepted by McNamara.
A glimpse there for a moment of what Miami can do when they get Bonfiglio in particular onto the ball. And they all have to rush back and start doing some defending.
Leal gets it from Rodriguez. Overlap is there. Budati end line. Budati in front. Campisi has it out for another Richard Harris Law Firm corner kick.
Therein lies the problem with Miami attacking. They put some bodies up there. They look sharp around the edge of the box for a moment. Lost possession. And then how quick will Las Vegas, including Budati here, to hit them on the counter-attack? Once again, Nicholas Campisi coming up with a save.
Another in-swinger from Nigro on that far side. 2 shots, both on target so far in this one for Vegas. Nigro, Campisi punches clear. Back through for Nigro, flag stays down. And he'll do it again from the corner, brought to you by Richard Harris Law Firm.
See Bonfiglio there just claiming a goal kick, saying it came off Las Vegas Lights player last, but unfortunately for him, officials weren't interested.
Nigro whips it in again dangerously, and he will just keep at it. Richard Harris Law Firm corner number 6 for Las Vegas. Nigro again into the traffic. Campisi punches away. Gannon arrives to keep it alive. Another ball worked in, and Campisi has it.
Nice little ball in from Coleman Gannon. Johnny Rodriguez with the header, but just couldn't get any power on it. Again, all the threats, all the real opportunities coming from the home side. Oh, risky.
Loaded long. Rosarena clears it out of play. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the Academy to the big league, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest product specials and more. Select, the player's choice. Romero angling it ahead. Zarate. Looped in, head away, flip back toward goal. Good bit of defending by Anthony Herbert.
that was a lovely first-time ball put into the box. Didn't give the defenders a whole lot of time to prepare for it. In the end, they were just able to clear their lines, Las Vegas Lights, but that was a little classy movement there from Miami FC. Again, just going to what Devin Rensing said, he said it's a hard team to break down. He said they have players who can do something special. You just don't know what to expect from those players, and there was a good example of that whipped-in first-time cross. There is Devin Rensing.
It's really not a bad idea that I think teams from around the league should start taking heed of a bit more. Just hire Ben Pierman assistants. We're going to get an angry letter from Ben Pierman. Stop robbing me of my coaching staff.
Yeah, it must be tough to lose assistants, but it also sort of is a backhanded compliment that you're doing the right thing.
Had a chance to chat with Ben Pierman this week, and it's an interesting time right now for the Charleston Battery. Sitting in second place, it seems like they're going to finish in second place in the East, barring something drastic. And he almost has to play psychiatrist for his group as well, because no matter what they do, they feel like losers because they look up at Louisville. His words, not mine, but they have to recognize that they are really good themselves. They're on the 5th best points per game pace in league history. It just so happens Louisville are on the 1st best points per game pace in league history. Budati driving it in. Oh, it was nifty from Knight Pickering.
Didn't see much of him yet, Knight Pickering, but he can be a threat there as well, especially if Budati's going to keep bombing down that right-hand side. We've seen him 3 or 4 times now. Make good progress, get whip balls in.
Possession 55-45 in Vegas's favor. Out shooting Miami 4-2 with 3 of those on target. Miami yet to test Raiko Rosarena in this one.
I'm guessing though touches in the opposition box would be way in Las Vegas's favor.
At the moment, yeah, more than double. Although it's 7-3, so it's not necessarily a lofty number, but still double.
That's the thing, Las Vegas are getting into good positions. They're threatening, they're probing, they're asking questions of Nicholas Campisi.
There they go again, but ball runs out of steam. They've also had a number of corners, 6 of them, so it shows you they've been mounting that pressure and keeping that pressure on. Elsewhere, those 2 other relevant scores for Vegas here tonight have gone to the half. Hartford up 1-0 on Monterey Bay. Sacramento up 2-0 on Phoenix. There isn't really a relevant score to report right now for Miami. Hartford well above them into the top 4 now in the Eastern Conference. All the other relevant scores for Miami happened earlier in the evening. Most notably, Indy 11 falling against Rhode Island.
And Tampa just the 1 point, Tampa Bay.
That Rhode Island-Indy game was notable for 2 reasons. It added 3 points to the tally of Rhode Island, who are the 8th place team Miami are chasing. And it also kept Indy on 26, who are in 9th. That was really one of those games, if you're Miami, you would have liked a tie.
Yes.
Just take a point each and have one go to the cutting room floor. But if you would have had to pick one of those teams to win, it would have been Rhode Island because they were on a lesser number of points than Indy. Had Indy won that game, you're talking about an 8-point gap for Miami. With Rhode Island winning, the gap is 6. So not great either way. You would have preferred a tie. But the second of the 3 options would have been Rhode Island winning.
It was very close to a tie. There was a ball kicked off the line in the dying moments from Elvis Amo that nearly equalized for Indy. And it was a scuffle. Elvis Amo threw a punch and got sent off. So
yeah, that'll do it. He's just ready for Canelo Alvarez and Bud Crawford later tonight, apparently. Agro gets it back to McNamara. Rodriguez. Nice pick out from Rodriguez to Budati. Budati, Leal. Divot comes out. Good to see both those players get up from that. Awkward slides in from both Leal and Mitrano. Where is Reiko Rosarena going?
I think he's getting bored. He hasn't had a touch of the ball hardly. So.
He has now. You kid, but that's probably why he came up and did that. He was probably just bored. He's not somebody who really takes a high step in possession. Typically, not at least. He used to a bit more under Dennis Sanchez in that style, but he doesn't really do so anymore. He might legitimately just be bored. Rodriguez, because after he had that touch, he retreated back into goal.
But it's also, I think Miami FC are not pushing many players up, so he feels he can come far up without risking too much. Now, once they have the ball, Miami, now they can start pushing numbers up.
No doubt against Nigro there. The question is, should it be a card? That's what the Miami bench is trying to clamor for. Duendiai just sort of shakes it off.
Good bit of skill from Miami there in particular. Christian Vasquez. Again, to Devin Rensing's point, there's some quality players in this Miami side. They haven't gelled. And yes, I mean, Francisco Bonfilio's had a superb season. He's gelled. But everybody else, they're almost more good individual players than they are as a team. And if it just sparks, if Gaston Madoni can get them to spark together, who knows what they could achieve.
And it was always an interesting experiment coming into the season because the vast majority of the Miami roster had never played in the U.S. before at any level. It was all players that were either from Argentina, Colombia, Venezuela, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, all players who had been playing either in South America, Central America, or the Caribbean that had never played, whether in 3rd division, 4th division, amateur level in the United States. This was their first time living in and playing in the U.S. The talent was there. We've seen it in spurts. It was just a matter of, can you get used to the playing style? Can you get used to life here? For the most part, the answer has been no in terms of gelling down the stretch, but you've seen it in glimpses that they could do it. And the experiment is maybe worth running back again next year with a lot of these players, if possible.
If you look back at last year, Rhode Island struggled. And then they got it together right towards the end, got in the playoffs and went all the way to the final. I just think Miami a little bit further away from that. If they had a couple more wins under their belt, who knows?
Here comes Budati once again. Leal just took his eye off of it. Rodriguez, Budati. You'll take it any way you can get it if you're Vegas as well. Just look back to their last win against Lexington, the 1-0 victory. It was an own goal in charge to Brooks Thompson, and it was enough to win it 1-0. Just have to find that breakthrough. Do anything you can to pick up the 3 points. Maybe here, it's another corner. Army goal kick. Seemed it was off of Knudsen tracking back. Lights fans, scan the QR code on your screen for more on the official protein drink of your Las Vegas Lights. DrinkPromino.com.
Just going back to that Lexington match, you're right, it was a pass back to Brooks Thompson, went under his foot in the goal. I think Las Vegas only had a shot on target the entire match, so it was a gift of a goal. But you take those gifts, you don't argue about them. And the thing is, when you put teams under pressure, it's amazing how many more gifts you get, be it a penalty, a trip, or whatever. It's applying the pressure that produces the errors from the opposition.
We saw it earlier tonight elsewhere in the league. Oakland on the road against Charleston. The Battery were up 1-0 going to halftime, or so it seemed, and they probably could have been up 3-0 going into halftime. A silly penalty was conceded in the last minute of stoppage time in that first half. It allowed Oakland to tie it and gave Oakland the momentum going into that second half completely out of nowhere, but it was Out of a high line of pressure from the Roots. Pressure turned into a positive.
Madoni there probably mixing up the English and the Spanish. 6 of the players are Argentinian. He's Argentinian. So they probably all get along reasonably well. There's a player from Spain, that's another Spanish speaker, and then just hope that Knudsen and Ricketts understand Spanish. Again, you would think, given that many players from one country, they would have gelled a lot better than they have. It's a very strange outcome, this Miami FC. And to your point, maybe next season, if they keep most of them together, who knows? They've settled into Miami. They might turn out to be a really, really good side, but just don't get enough gelling between the players, enough understanding, enough second sense of where they are one to the other.
Knudsen maybe gets away with one. Now the referee will stop play with Rodriguez down holding his face.
He's back, I think, got a good nudge in the back, and it can be very painful. I think he probably also wants the referee to know that he has been hit, and that if it happens again, next time he deserves the free kick.
And there was some time that he missed for a back injury in his time with the Oakland Roots these last couple of years before coming over to Vegas. So he does have a little history of some back ailments as well. But to your point, I think the hope would just be that he is okay, and this is more just for some referees' attention.
Coach is just taking a moment to have a chat with some of the players. Here it is. Don't see much there. It's always hard to tell. I mean, it's only the player knows how hard they've been hit. Sometimes an elbow can be hidden. You know, you don't think there's been a connection when there has been. But he seems to be fine. Tough player, Johnny Rodriguez. Good player as well. Top goal scorer by far for Las Vegas Lights this season.
7 goals this year after 12 last year and 12 the year before that with the Roots. Dozen in back-to-back seasons. He still has time to get to a dozen this year, but he's running out of time.
Today would be a good day if you're a Las Vegas fan. Just saying.
Those fans would certainly welcome it. 6 matches remaining after tonight for Vegas, so 6.5 games remaining for Johnny Rodriguez to score 5 and get to 12 again. Ahead for Bonfiglio. Herbert knocked it down. Slip ball through. Vasquez. Zarate. There's a swarm of black jerseys around him. Nowhere to go in the end. Pressure being kept up here by Miami. Nearly forcing an error. Bonfiglio was lurking once again. Budati. Negro. Some space for Budati. He's been very active in this first half. Budati overlap from Negro. Uses it. Negro feeding it out for another corner.
Been some rich pickings down that right-hand side for Las Vegas Lights. Won a ton of corners from it. Only thing is they haven't been able to use those corners. Will this be the one that breaks the Miami defense? Because you have to fancy, if you keep putting the ball in there, eventually something's got to break for Las Vegas.
Negro leads the way with 40 touches in this first half for Vegas. Whips in the Richard Harris Law Firm corner kick. And it's gathered by Campisi.
I was very surprised to see Bill Hamid leave Miami FC. Thought he was a really top-class keeper, but evidently there were some issues there. I've got to say, Nicholas Campisi has put on a very good show first half here tonight and seems to be a decent keeper himself, although hard to match what Bill Hamid has achieved in this game.
So many variables, obviously, you could speak to it better than anybody, go into being a goalkeeper. The form you're in, the mental state you're in, the defense in front of you, because Campisi was really struggling when he was with Tampa Bay. It seems, though, the change of scenery coming from Tampa Bay to Miami in that swap for Bill Hamid has really ignited something within Campisi.
And it could be just the fact that he's surrounded by fellow Argentinians. Feels more comfortable at home. Also, I think he had a bad start with Tampa Bay. I seem to recall some real howlers in his first 2 or 3 games.
So really, you could check a couple of those boxes there. Bad mental state, a bad Tampa Bay defense at that time, and maybe uncomfortable surroundings. Now in a much better mental state, a much better run of form. A lot of camaraderie around him in this lineup. Just feels like it's an overall breath of fresh air for Campisi now with Miami. Lights fans, scan the QR code on your screen to check out the new Family 4-pack. Waiting word on stoppage time. This one fed through. Could be an opportunity here. Rosarena going on an adventure. Makes contact. Referee sees nothing in it. 2 minutes of stoppage tacked on. Now the other way for Vegas. McNamara. Rodriguez. Nigro, first time with his preferred left foot, but it's blocked. Free kick on the way.
There was a moment there, a minute back, where he's come out the box, Rosarena, and there was a connection, and I think the Miami players were asking for foul, free kick, card, something, nothing given. So look, this could be the moment here. No, I didn't see, I can't see that Rosarena made the tackle there. In fact, he tried to pull out, so let's have a look. Not enough for me there.
I'm with you. Cavallani's tried to make more of it in the end after he slipped. Tried to dodge the keeper. Difficult in this area for a free kick. It's a little far for it to strike. It's a little too close and centrally located for a service. So what's the option? Nigro hoping for a header across frame. Superman punch away from Campisi. Offside flag came up anyway.
Positive goalkeeping. He's come, even if he doesn't get it, he certainly puts the striker off. Once again, Campisi doing what has been required to keep that clean sheet for Miami.
That should take us to the end of this first half. Two teams that are desperate for a win in their respective playoff chases. Even though hopes are maybe slim, the hope still exists. And we'll see how it looks in half number 2 for these desperate sides.
Certainly Las Vegas are better than two teams in the first half. Had a lot of opportunities. Goalkeeper Campisi with some decent saves. But there were moments where Miami FC showed they can be dangerous. But again, as we said at the beginning, somebody has to win. If they're to go up this league table and have a chance of being in the playoffs, somebody has to win. Who will it be?
Well, it could be a tie, so not necessarily somebody has to win, but I get your sentiment. Somebody has to win in the sense of if they want to actually make the playoffs. 1 point is essentially a loss here this evening. That's how these two teams have to view it. And when you have two teams who would view a tie as a loss, it should mean open, fluid soccer in half number 2 as the teams are forced to be a bit more daring. 0-0 through 45. More to come from Cashman.
My name is Melvin Hicks. Friends call me, and all the people call me Mr. Hicks. I appreciate you guys. I'm here because this is my job. This is what I do. I mean, it's a exciting time to just be here with the team. I love it, man, and get to do the ushering and get to do the gatekeeping here. This place right here is fantastic, and the energy never misses, because you know why? We got the greatest team ever, the Lights. You see what I'm saying?
Hello, my name is Ramon Martin del Campo, City of Henderson police officer and former Las Vegas Lights team captain. My mother, Susie, desperately waited for a second chance after years of fighting kidney disease. Through a paired kidney exchange program, she was able to receive the gift of life through transplant. Currently, about 85% of Americans waiting need a kidney transplant. I am a living kidney donor. Nevadans are giving. Join us at wearenevadans.org.
Tonight's halftime is presented by Southern Nevada Water Authority. Remember to change your watering clocks for fall water grass only 3 days a week. Both these teams, Las Vegas and Miami, desperate for 3 points here this evening. Which of these sides can go ahead and grasp it? We'll find out over the next 45. Big shot! Oh! From way downtown! A blazing shot from Tyler Clegg!
Enter a new game if Ikaza has something to say. Cal Jennings sitting on the hat trick. Turned away, Torres! And it's a flying stop from Hunter Schultz.
Jansen Wilson, he'll let it fly, and he has a first half brace. An absolute banger for Jansen Wilson.
Goal, and they score! Jansen Wilson with a missile from well out, and that could be the game.
Fresh off clinching their 11th consecutive playoff berth, Blue City winger Aiden McFadden joins the show to talk his 5-year journey as a pro and how this might be the best year of his career so far. Haji Berry is back in USL Championship play with Hartford Athletic. Is he going to be back to his goal-scoring form that saw him win the Golden Boot just a couple of seasons ago? Who's the favorite heading into Final Four action in Jaeger Cup? We got you covered.
Kickers are on the board. Ollie Wrights. It's Portland's pumping ahead 2-1.
Prince Tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines. From early mornings to late nights. From fun with friends to winner takes all. From the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prince Tires will be there for the long haul.
We don't stop chanting, we don't stop drumming, yelling and screaming and chanting.
Back from the dead in the 90th minute!
We'll follow them wherever, pretty much. That's just the love that we have for our team.
Halftime brought to you by Southern Nevada Water Authority. Remember to change your watering clocks for fall water grass only 3 days a week. Scoreless through 45 between Vegas and Miami. Take a broader look around USL Championship now with some news and notes presented by Payblocks. That Jaeger Cup final is on the way, Gary. Just under a month from now, Haji Berry and Hartford taking on Sacramento Republic.
Fantastic achievement by both those clubs, both of them in unbelievable form. And Sac Republic, having been away on a couple of games, deserve to be at home for the final.
And they'll actually be playing Hartford back-to-back weekends now, the way the schedule sets up. Sacramento and Hartford. Augie Williams eclipsed the 100 goal contribution mark as he continues his stellar career in the USL Championship as well. He's doing so for a Pittsburgh team that is currently in a decent playoff position as we take a look at the standings here this evening. Standings are brought to you by AMR and Medic West. We'll start with the Western Conference. Vegas, you see where they are right now, why the second half is important. If they turn this into a win, they're just 3 back of that playoff line.
Incredible, isn't it, how close it is? Phoenix Rising just on the cusp. Orange County outside of it. But as you mentioned, it can change in one game. Never mind 2 or 3 games. One game, you can go Orange County from 29 points to 32, and you're next to El Paso in 5th spot.
On the other side in the Eastern Conference, Miami right now is bringing up the rear, but similar story. If they turn this into a win, they go from 21 to 23, because remember, the 1 point for the draw tonight is already factored into this. So they would climb ahead of Birmingham, ahead of Tampa Bay. They'd be 3 back of Indy and 4 back of the playoff line. So it's all still there for these two teams.
Which is to the point. They have to go for a win. A draw is not good enough for either of them. Certainly Miami would think an away draw at Las Vegas is a decent result. Given where they are, it's not. They need 3 points. Las Vegas need 3 points. Let's see if either of them can get it.
And now the out-of-town score is brought to you by Silk Title Co. It was the wild one earlier between San Antonio and Loudoun you referenced. It was Loudoun in control. A red card changed the game. And then Tampa Bay and the Switchbacks combined for 6, split right down the middle. Those are good results for both these teams in our game tonight, that Switchbacks and the Rowdies shared a point each.
It is. It just keeps them close and keeps them within touch. Indy 11 losing there. Good news for Miami.
Plenty more around the league as well. 3-3 it finished between Charleston and Oakland. 64th minute now, Hartford up 1-0 on Monterey Bay, and Sacramento up 2-0 on Phoenix Rising.
Again, that's exactly what Las Vegas want those results to remain as they are, with Hartford winning, Sacramento Republic winning, and then all eyes back to this match. Can somebody win it in the second half?
And that's enough looking around USL Championship. It's back to our match now. To your question, can somebody win it in this second half? One of these teams has to if they want to really make a push for a playoff spot. The second 45, a vital second 45 on the way.
As a stylist, I know it can be hard to find time for a haircut. With the Great Clips app, you can put your name on the list from anywhere and head to the salon when it's time for your cut. A great haircut plus more time for what you love. That's Great Clips.
Tonight's match is brought to you by Desert Radiology and Comprehensive Cancer Centers. A look back at highlights from that first half of action between Vegas and Miami. Scoreless, but Gary, opportunities for both.
Udadied on that right-hand side, creating problems. Coleman Gannon controls, shoots, Campisi with a save. And his first touch there, Coleman Gannon, just sets it up to get that strike. The goalkeeper reads it perfectly. Miami had their moments too. Decent ball put in. Ricketts nearly on the end of that. Certainly asking questions there of the Las Vegas defense.
And then from that point on, it was really about Vegas settling in. The opportunities weren't as frequent at the other end anymore for Miami. A couple of big saves in the half for Campisi.
Yeah, Coleman Gannon again comes in and whips it with his left foot. Campisi up to it. And stats, they'll show you the home side at 3 shots on target to the 1 for Miami. Got a lot of other stats that I'll tell you about when we get into the game that were better than Miami, but the only stat that either coach is interested in is the number of goals.
0-0 and a point each, but it's a point you made earlier, Gary. A draw isn't a terrible result usually ever, but this point of the season it is. You have to win. You've dug yourself a hole. This goes for both of these teams. There was a similar story elsewhere earlier this evening when the Oakland Roots went on the road and tied Charleston Battery. Only one other team took points from Charleston this year. It was Louisville on opening weekend. So for Oakland, yeah, if you go into Charleston and you take a point, that's a great result. Only that it isn't anymore because you're running out of time. Same for both of these teams here tonight. A draw is a fine and dandy result, but not anymore the way things currently are. You look at the upcoming schedule on this Vegas side. You referenced it earlier, the next 3 on the road, all coming east. Louisville, Pittsburgh, Rhode Island. You get a home game against a desperate Roots team, and then you're going on the road at altitude to Colorado Springs. 4 of the next 5 on the road, very difficult sledding.
Colorado Springs and Rhode Island, the 2 finalists from last season, and Louisville City are the leading team this year. So, yeah, again, even if they get 3 points tonight, the chances are very slim they can do it, but the door is open. Without the 3 points, pretty much think the door gets slammed closed.
It's not much easier on the other side for Miami. They'll host reigning conference champions Rhode Island, and it's at North Carolina versus Pittsburgh, at Lou City, at Birmingham. It is a murderer's row of either top teams or desperate teams.
Yeah, same point. I mean, good luck beating Lou City and Pittsburgh at the moment, but a win today just gives you the faintest of hopes. Anything but a win, and pretty much case closed.
Case for both these teams. Lose tonight, all hope goes out the window. Tie tonight, almost all hope going out the window. Win tonight, you've got a bit of a heartbeat. Miami a little bit late, returning to the field, just back out there now. They go right to left in their whites. Vegas left to right in their black with the blue sleeves.
Chances to expand on the stats. Expected goals 0.59 for the home side, just 0.12 for Miami. It means they have a lot more work to do in the second half if they're going to come away with 3 points here, will the visitors.
Just got into much more dangerous areas. Vegas 11 touches in the opposing 18-yard box, just 3 for Miami. 7 corners to 1 in favor of Vegas. All numbers you look to really understand which way the field has been slanted, and it's been slanted in Vegas's favor as we're underway now in half number 2. With Gary Bailey, I'm Joe Malfa. Glad to have you with us this evening from Cashman Field on ESPN+. Hard to believe we are just about midway through September. Decision day in the USL Championship is on the horizon, October 25th. Playoffs will begin the following weekend of Halloween. Dangerous ball in here, gathered by a Rosarena. Already has had more to do in this half than perhaps the entirety of the first.
I think you're right there. He kicked the ball twice in the first half. That's his first actual handling of the ball. Maybe Miami FC are going to show a bit more intent second half. Let's see.
And why not? You've got Bonfiglio up top with 13 goals in the Golden Boot race. He's certainly capable of producing a moment. Just give him a half chance and he could turn it into his 14th goal. Nigro, Campisi gathers.
Shouting at his defenders as well, as if to say, don't let them put the crosses in. I'll try my best to catch them, but you need to stop them from coming in the first place.
A lazy bunch, you goalkeepers. Always yelling at others to do their job so you don't have to do your own.
That pretty much sums it up.
Herbert. That was intended, I believe, for Budati beyond Coleman Gannon, but he wasn't aware. And he had a teammate behind him. In terms of these two teams being able to dip into the bench and impact this game in the second half, the depth favors Vegas overall. Individually, the most quality player perhaps belongs to Miami, that being Sebastian Blanco, the 37-year-old. In terms of just individual ability and quality, they can impact it with his insertion, but Vegas certainly has the depth. Chris Pearson, Edison Ascona, who hasn't appeared since May, Stefan Stojanovic, Mackenzie Gaines. Gannon. Couple of step overs there, one too many. Mitrano held his ground and won it cleanly. The Las Vegas Lights are proud to be working with Desert Radiology as their official imaging partner for the 2025 season.
Okay, we just saw with Coleman Gannon there, when he does get to the box, he's got the tricks. Didn't get past the defender this time, but if I'm in the midfield there, I'm looking for him every time, Coleman Gannon. Johnny Rodriguez is a better finisher, perhaps, from inside the box, more deadly. But if you want someone who can get into the box and create, I think Coleman Gannon's as good as there is in the USL. Strong refereeing there from Abdul Daim. Quite like that, and decisions made. Let's get on with it. Right position. He's refereed this game very well so far.
Play, 30, play. If you're Miami, can you manufacture something off of a set piece? Even though set pieces have been few and far between tonight for Miami. Curled in. Vasquez. Mitrano. Vasquez. Just beyond the reach of Gavilanes.
It's interesting, there was talk from Gaston Madoni of using Gavilanes out wide. He was going to stretch the defense. Didn't really see that first half. He seems to have tucked more into a central position here. Maybe they've changed their style a bit for the second half, Miami FC. Less width, more down the middle.
McNamara has been a good veteran presence in the midfield for Vegas ever since joining about a month ago. Over 200 appearances in his MLS career, now 34 years of age. Already given the captain's armband. It's been that extension of Stefan Rensing on the field in many ways.
When you watch him play as well, his touches are so clean and clear, and he's aware of where everybody is. Maybe he doesn't quite have that little turn of pace that he might have had 6-7 years ago, but just his touch on the ball is superb.
Contact there. It's clean in the eyes of the officials and just out for a goal kick.
Just looking at Knight Pickering, hasn't impacted the game a lot, and would think that he's probably got 10 minutes in which to impress Devin Rensing before Rensing looks at the likes of Asconar and Mackenzie Gaines and thinks, need to get some fresh legs on. So important for Knight Pickering to do something special in the next sort of 5 to 10 minutes.
Budati was third in touches in that first half. His counterpart on the opposite flank, Gennaro Nigro on it now, led the game in touches in that first half. Very active, both wingbacks for Vegas. Nigro looking ahead for Rodriguez. Some words in the aftermath there between Garcia and Rodriguez. Probably not kind words. It hasn't stopped either.
Danko just stepped across him there, Johnny Rodriguez, and then Rodriguez gave him a bit of a nudge in the chest, and the words were shared between them.
An important update from elsewhere for Vegas, looking up at Phoenix in 8th place. It was 2-0 Sacramento up until the 60th minute. Remy Cabral scored a penalty to make it 2-1. And now in the 75th minute, Sacramento picked up a red card and they've gone down a man. Still up 2-1, but they'll have to try and see it through down a man. We saw what a red card did earlier in the Loudoun San Antonio game. Loudoun were in control, ended up losing 5-2 after the red card. So Vegas will, from afar, be hoping Sacramento can hold on, while Phoenix will be chasing.
All the ebbs and flows, wherever it stands now, it just takes a Las Vegas goal to change things, or a Phoenix goal to change things, a Monterey Bay goal. It's going to be like this right up until the final day in the USL.
Well, last night was an outstanding example. I'll come back to that in a moment here. I'll come back to it immediately after that service across. Lexington and Orange County went into yesterday with Lexington in 5th, Orange County in 9th. A win for Lexington would have put them in 3rd place. So while they were leading in that game, or rather, Orange County in 9th took a lead on Lexington and went from 9th into 5th, above Lexington, who dropped to 6th with that goal. And had Lexington have gone up, they would have gone up to 3rd in that game. So their range of outcomes, Lexington was 3rd down to 6th. Orange County's range of outcomes was from 5th to 9th, all in one game.
Wow. And that's true of so many games at the moment, both East and West. Not so much here. Neither team's going to go flying up the table, but what they will do is they will get within distance of that 8th place and a chance to sneak it if they can win back-to-back games. Which again, given the games coming up, Las Vegas lose City away next. Even if they were to win this, the chances of going to Lynn Family Stadium and getting a win, and then going to Highmark and beating Pittsburgh. But you'll take it. You'll take the win here today and give yourself at least the possibility.
Some possibility is better than no possibility.
Exactly.
Even if it's a very slim possibility, it's better than nothing.
Maybe it's a little bit more doable. Rhode Island at home, North Carolina away. They seem to be securely in a playoff spot that might just catch them. Pittsburgh at home again. But then, given Miami's poor home form, I'm not so sure that that's a huge benefit to them to be at home.
I think the only thing Vegas can hope for next week. This one slipped through for Gavilanes. Flag stays down. Gavilanes cuts in past his man. Herbert deflects. And it's gathered by Budati and cleared. Try from distance here. Rosarena makes the save. Good strike from Ricketts. Herbert gets his foot on it. Some life here for Miami. Finish that thought. The only thing I think Vegas can hope for next week against Louisville is maybe they rest some guys, given their stature now in 1st place and a 6-point lead over Charleston. It's maybe a day where they can rotate Louisville. Coleman Gannon now. Gannon. Both he and Pickering have struggled to really create in this one for the Lights. Stand to reason maybe the first sub or two from Devin Rensing is to switch the wingers.
For me, Gannon's at least looked dangerous. Knight Pickering hasn't offered anything going forward as yet. He might still be able to. But for me, Coleman Gannon's got the ability to break down a defense.
Looped in, Rodriguez settles. Johnny Rodriguez puts it back in the air, and it's out of play. 5 minutes after Sacramento went down a man, Phoenix found the equalizer. 2-2 now in Sacramento.
By the way, the pass from McNamara, have a look at this. That is such quality. He read the run from Johnny Rodriguez. If Rodriguez's first touch is better, that could have found the back of the net, but the quality of pass from Thomas McNamara.
Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. It's dicey now for Sacramento. From up 2-0 to up 2-1 to losing a man to now 2-2. All the momentum on Phoenix's side with 10 minutes to play. And you almost start to think, almost regardless of what the result may be here. Now for Las Vegas, if Phoenix go on and win that game, you're having a much different conversation. If Phoenix were to lose that game against Sacramento, you're staring up at the playoff line. You've played the same number of games as Phoenix. With a win of your own tonight, you'd be 3 points back. If Phoenix go on and win that game now against Sacramento after they seem left for dead. Now, if you're Vegas, you're looking up at the Switchbacks, who are on 31 points and who have a game in hand on you. So it becomes a little bit of a different equation if Phoenix go on and beat Sacramento, which is why I've been updating that game, and it's so vital here for the Lights. Budati gets it back from Rodriguez. Hartford do appear as if they are assaulting away Monterey Bay. It's 2-0 now. Hartford brings Hartford to within 1 point of a home playoff game. A team that were in 12th place until their mid-July game against New Mexico.
That has been one of the most amazing turnarounds, Hartford. And on top of that, they've got to the Jaeger Cup final during that spell. Absolutely brilliant. There was a time early in the season where they just couldn't get anything right. They looked horrendous. It was just not working for them, no matter how much they've tried. So kudos to everyone there at Hartford for turning that one around.
Gavilanes snagged by Rosarena. To be fair, early in the year, so many injuries for that Hartford team that had a knock-on effect. Beside the fact that they were missing guys, then they were missing their depth pieces, and because of that, they went into a lot of games pretty much having to shape-shift their formation, just put square pegs in round holes, and it really limited somebody like Momo Jiang, who ends up getting on a scoring hot streak, getting sold off to Minnesota United. But early in the year, he couldn't even get going because he wasn't getting the service. He was tasked with defending. Looped in, dangerous ball here, diving header flashes wide. Diego Mercado nearly with the opener.
That's the best chance they've had, Miami FC. He does so well to go through at the back here. Lovely ball in, but when he gets there, then he's got to head it back the way it came towards that far post, and he doesn't. He goes for the near post and misses. That's a great opportunity, and they really sort of have coming back into life here, the Miami FC in the second half.
Try from distance here. It's touched away wide by Rosarena. All of a sudden at the hour mark, Miami with life.
Maybe that was part of their game plan. Just get through the first half, keep it tight, defend, start to come out of your shell second half. If that is the plan, they're certainly executing it perfectly here, because Rosarena's having a much busier second half than he did in that first.
Lucas Milano replaces Zarate. Stefan Stojanovic, Mackenzie Gaines on for Vegas, replacing Knight Pickering and Patrick Leal.
And Pickering has struggled, so you understand why Stefan Stojanovic comes on. And then they need the goals, so taking a chance. Patrick Leal, not quite as much of a forward thinking player as Mackenzie Gaines. So again, Devin Rensing doing what he has to do to get the 3 points.
Header off target from the corner. All subs brought to you by Payblocks. Strategically, I'm curious where these coaches go in the next 10 minutes or so if it is still 0-0. Because keeping it 0-0 doesn't do you any good. I think you and I have belabored that point enough tonight that a draw is essentially a loss for these two teams. You wonder if these coaches see it the same way.
I think they do. They both said something similar. Gaston Modoni saying no more excuses, we have to win. Devin Rensing saying pretty much the same thing from his side. Although they've had decent results since he took over, he knows that only wins now will do.
Fed through, Gavilanes, saved again by Rosarena.
Just wonder if Gavilanes can't chip the goalkeeper there. He's got himself in a great position. He's done the hard work.
And went short from the corner. Vasquez. But he's looking around for it. Rosarena finds it. Lights fans, scan the QR code on your screen for more on the official protein drink of your Las Vegas Lights. DrinkPromino.com.
I certainly think it's going to start to ramp up now. I think as both these teams start going for a win, should one of them score, the other one's got to really then go for it to try and get the 2 goals. So I think it's just sitting on the cusp of really turning into an exciting final 30 minutes.
Played across by Gavilanes, settled! Wrong side of the post, it took a deflection. Upset with himself, feeling he should have done better in the end there. Jonathan Ricketts.
So much more positive second half, Miami FC. Gavilanes with the cross, Ricketts, the effort. More of a defender's shot, but there's enough talent around this team to give Las Vegas lots more problems.
Reverse of the first half. It's Vegas doing a lot of the defending. Miami certainly the aggressors in this second half. Gannon. Gaines. Gaines back to Gannon. He feeds it through. Great look, great touch, great save by Campisi.
That's some beautiful football there from Las Vegas, from Mackenzie Gaines on that left-hand side. Bring it in. Coleman Gannon puts it through, I think, to Stojanovic, and he stretches and nearly gets it past Campisi, who once again comes up with a save. We said it's going to take off, and it just looks like it's stretching now, and that both sides are willing to risk throwing bodies forward as they know they have to get a result.
Gannon. The referee was trying to play advantage and ends up giving the yellow.
Was a little bit of a late tackle. We heard the scream from Budadi when he went down.
Ankle picks up the yellow. First on the Miami side, Giorgio Probo with one on the Vegas side.
It's not the left leg, it's the following right leg that sweeps through. Dangerous from Danko.
Goes against Vegas down in the corner.
They're saying that the defender just went to ground. Coleman Gannon's saying the assistant ref is right there and he's not giving it. He can see what's going on. Matrano just dropped to his knees. And that frustrated Coleman Gannon. Rensing not happy either.
Yeah, watch the match on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk. That includes USL All Access on Tuesday nights, plus live matches from the USL, MLS Premier League, and more on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
Fantastic weekly show, Mike Watts, Devon Kerr, and the occasional appearance by Joe Malfa.
Only when they're very desperate. Very desperate.
But it's a great way just to get updated on everything that is to do with the USL.
And beside that, just some of the insights from the guests that they have. It was a couple of weeks ago they had Devin Rensing on right when he took over Vegas. So just getting to peel back the curtain a bit, hear more from these guys, go back a little bit further in the season. They had Manny Feilhaber the day after he was officially named the Roots head coach. So it's your first place to really hear from new players, new coaches, or topical coaches and players. Sebastian Blanco just came on for Alan Gavilanes. That was a bit of quality we were expecting them to bring in from the bench. A 37-year-old can certainly impact this game in a big way. Subs brought to you by Payblocks. Here is Blanco, his first touches. Pushing it end line. Cleared by Gartig.
If he's got his fitness back, or he's got over his injury rather, Sebastian Blanco is a very, very good player to have going forward here for the last 20 or so minutes.
It's so against coaches' natures to really throw caution to the wind and not care about conceding. We often talk to coaches and they'll always talk about, you know, rather win a game 1-0 than win a game 5-2, because even though the margin's better on a 5-2, he also gave up 2 goals. So how difficult is it for a coach or a player to now, with 20 minutes, given the situation in the season, to actually throw caution to the wind?
It's just something you have to do, and the players know they have to. It's not like the coach has to sell it to the players. The Miami players and Las Vegas players both know that without a win, they've virtually no chance. Even with a win, they've got a mountain to climb. They know it. They're going to push forward. Yes, you might go man for man at the back. That leaves you a bit vulnerable in transition.
Rodriguez leaves it. McNamara sends that one to Albuquerque.
Yeah, not his finest moment. And he brings to Las Vegas what Sebastian Blanco brings to Miami FC, that wonderful touch player. As the fans are trying to keep the excitement going for Las Vegas, but they're both got vision, they're both aware of players around them, and they can both lay on great passes and great opportunities. Neither player obviously still in their prime, so they've got to manage their minutes a bit more carefully. Mentioned Campisi much second half, just shows you how well Miami have played.
In the second half, 7 shots, 3 on target for Miami, 2 shots, 1 on target for Vegas. Complete flip of the script from the first half. Something on here for Miami. Again, just lacking in the service at the end of it. Lights fans, trade the jerseys and cleats for fire suits and race cars because NASCAR races back to Vegas Motor Speedway for the South Point 400. That's Sunday, October 12th. Tickets for kids 12 and under are just $10. Parking free. Need we say more? LVMS.com to plan your experience for NASCAR in Vegas. Budati. Favorable bounce here for Vegas. Pressure coming. Gathered by Campisi. Just waiting for a final whistle from Sacramento. It's 2-2 between Republic and Phoenix. They're 7 minutes into 6 minutes of stoppage time. As soon as it does officially go final, we'll let you know. A point for Phoenix is palatable here for Vegas. Nothing and a loss would have been better, but take what you can get. And none of it matters if you don't win your game anyway.
I was going to say the same thing. It's about, you know, you got to do your job. And then you get in the locker room afterwards, you say, have we had any luck? Have any other results gone our way? But if you don't do your job, and it applies to both Miami and Las Vegas, if you don't get the win here today, it doesn't matter what the others do.
Contact there. Gaines going down. Not enough to rise to the level of a penalty.
Frustrating for Mackenzie Gaines. He's got the pace, just got blocked off there.
McNamara, Gaines. Budati. Rodriguez uses his body so well when there's pressure behind him. Deflects in. Gannon tried to turn and hit it quickly. Goal kick.
Oh, Coleman Gannon knew what he wanted to do. As that ball came across, he wanted to sort of flip and give it like a scissor kick, and just totally, yeah, you could see he's frustrated, just totally misjudged it. Johnny Rodriguez doing well to get the ball into him. Just one player who could have pulled it off. I would have thought it was Coleman Gannon. He keeps putting his head back. He's really annoyed with himself.
That game did go final between Sacramento and Phoenix, so it keeps things a little bit closer. Take a look at the standings in the Western Conference. Tulsa still leading the way. Sacramento now 8 back of them. And this is what you're looking at for Vegas. Phoenix end up on 31 this evening instead of 30. So your target moves a point higher than you thought they would have after they went down 2-0 on the road against Sacramento.
It's a yellow card for time wasting, which goes against everything we're saying, which is what Miami have to win this game. So, right, are they really wasting time? I mean, they're happy with the point, Miami FC? I'd be very surprised if they are.
It's interesting you bring that up, because I think to the outsider you say, well, the referees may be not aware of that, but the referees are. They have extensive meetings coming into games about the situation as far as what the game means to the standings, as far as any history between the teams, history between the players, tendencies. So you would think that Abdou Ndiaye would be aware of that fact too, and that nobody would be time wasting right now. Work back, just beyond the reach of Romero. Knutson picked up the yellow. Blanco feeds it through on the turn, saved by Arozarena. He is among the best in this league when it comes to his reflexes. He keeps this one out from Vasquez.
That's a fantastic save, it is. Quick reflex, because he's turned and absolutely smashed this. Christian Vasquez turned, got his balance, and hit it so hard with his left foot. Whack! And it's just close enough to his body, Arozarena, to get his hands onto it.
Blanco looking back post, slapped away by Arozarena. Another corner coming.
What a game of two halves. Literally is mirror image. First half, all Las Vegas. Miami next to nothing. Second half, all Miami. Just a little bit here and there from Las Vegas. And still, we have no team in the lead.
Hasn't been for a lack of trying or a lack of opportunities.
A little bit of pushing and shoving near Rose Arena, and I think referees well aware that players try and block the goalkeeper, so just keep an eye on that.
Curled in again from the corner. McNamara rises to meet it. Gannon took that right on the nose. He is still holding his face back behind the play. Meanwhile, the lights break out, but they're man down. Gannon would typically be up here in the attack. Gaines brought down. That should be yellow, and a free kick on the way. It will be yellow.
It's a good run from Mackenzie Gaines. We said he's quick, and it's a good yellow to take because he was through, and that could have been the goal. So that's what one might call a professional yellow. The right thing to do. Blanco arguing about it, but I don't think there was any doubt whatsoever, especially in Abdou Ndiaye's mind. Let's have a look at it again. Mackenzie Gaines has gone here, knocks it past, steps across, picks up the yellow card.
And Mercado joins Garcia and Ricketts in the book. McNamara standing over it. Does he have a moment in that right foot of his here? McNamara off the bar!
Wow, what a strike. Beautifully hit. We're just saying what a quality striker and player of the ball he is. He got that one perfect, well, nearly perfect. Perfect would have been in the back of the net, but nearly perfect.
You were mentioning earlier that Miami have had some bad luck in games this year that have cost them points. Here's some for Vegas.
Oof, what a wonderful strike. Maybe they're coming back into it. Mackenzie Gaines has just brought them an extra bit of pace and threat up front. And now more changes to come.
Edison Azcona returns for the first time in a few months. He's dealt with injuries, international duty. Finally back out there fit for Vegas. Sub brought to you by Payblocks. I really missed him this year, Edison Azcona. He'll be 22 years old in November. Comes from Inter Miami. Plenty of qualities, led Dominican Republic at the senior level. Got them to the Olympics last year at the U23 level because of what he did at the U20 level when he took them historically to their first ever CONCACAF U20 Championship final back in 2022. A frustrating moment there for Sebastian Blanco. He spiked that ball basically into Earth's outer crust and picks up the yellow. Bounced about 8 feet high after he threw it down.
Just by the way, on Azcona, he got a goal against Mexico in the Gold Cup back in June. So a real quality player, and he's available. He could be the one to make a difference here in this last 10 minutes.
Just very touch and go all year between injuries and call-ups by Dominican Republic. For a team that has been in flux all year with coaching changes and style changes. Earlier in the year playing a much more defensive style that just didn't at all suit the player personnel they had, and it's why they moved on. Made the coaching change they did when they did. Trio of changes now on the Miami side. Dejan Veron, Gerald Diaz coming on for Mitrano and Mercado. bent as well. Christian Vasquez comes off. After seeing that McNamara shot off the crossbar on the free kick, seems to have breathed some life into the lungs of Vegas. Can they do something with it? Brandon Bent pushed off the ball by Herbert. Stojanovic went down easily. Abdou Ndiaye had none of it. He's really had a good game, the referee. Stern when he's had to be. He's seen through some dive attempts from both sides.
Yeah, he's been absolutely excellent. And you're right, the players have tried to get the better of him, should we put it that way, on many, many occasions, and he just calls it as it is and moves on. Really impressive refereeing.
Chris Pearson coming on. Will replace Anthony Herbert.
It's more of a midfielder for a defender, so perhaps Devon Rensing just taking a few more risks here in the search for those 3 points. Play man for man at the back, an extra body in midfield, and go for these 3 points. From a neutral point of view, I hope somebody gets the 3 points, because if neither gets it, that's probably their season done for both of them. But if one of them gets it, it just keeps that door ajar for the next couple of weeks, at least.
Just finishing the point from a moment ago when we were giving Abdou Ndiaye credit, because maybe we are guilty sometimes of being too harsh on the refs. Aside from having a good game tonight, good time to remind you he is the reigning USL Championship Referee of the Year in 2024. He is very respected throughout the league, showing why tonight. Gaines drops it back edge of the area. It's scuffed by Gannon. There's been a couple of those moments tonight where better contact, better decision from Gannon.
And again, Gaines able with his pace to go at the defender backs off, he can lift his head, he can wait for support. He really has brought an extra dimension to this Las Vegas Lights attack. Is it going to be a hero? That's the question. 5 minutes plus at a time.
McNamara. Azcona. Edison Azcona cutting. Azcona couldn't beat that third man after beating the first two. McNamara feeds it wide again. Centered. Gannon was waiting for it. McNamara keeps it alive for Azcona. Pearson. Gains along for Gannon. Gannon squares it back. McNamara skies it. He knows the opportunity he just had and squandered.
Of all the players you'd want that ball to go to, I would have picked Thomas McNamara as the one, because he's got such a great striking ability. Coleman Gannon knew it as well, pulls it back. It's a great pullback for him. And he just doesn't hit it right. And he knows, he's annoyed with himself, because he's such a true striker of the ball. But Gannon doing a great job down that right-hand side.
4 minutes plus stoppage remaining. eFootball is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball, free to play. Download now. Blanco along for Bent. Brendan Bent squares it back. The trailing run. It's off the bar. The sides are level now. They've both hit the bar in these last few minutes, but this one did take a deflection, and it's out for a Miami corner.
Gerald Diaz there coming late into the box and smashing that one. Blanco is the one who sets it all up and then pulled back there beautifully by Brandon
He saved
Bent.
that. Rosarena saved that.
Well done, the goalkeeper. Wow, what a crucial save.
Rosarena taps it away. It was almost imperceptible because of the velocity on that shot. It was off his palm, up off the bar, and out of play.
Well, you have to say that the two best players in this match have been the two goalkeepers. First half, Campese,
right up your
second
alley.
half.
Another corner coming now for Miami. Rosarena slaps it out for another corner. Here again, the save coming from Rosarena. Watch his left palm. Just gets enough of this one.
Oh, absolutely brilliant. That ball is going so fast from 8-9 yards away. That is lightning reflexes.
Again from the corner, the header. And now they can breathe easier.
Well, I think, you know, both sides will look back at this and go, we had our chances. We've both hit the crossbar. We've both forced good saves from the opposing goalkeeper. They'll take a lot of those sort of positives, but Devin Rensing saying he wants more goals from the chances created. Gaston Modoni saying no more excuses, we have to win matches. So for all the good work that's been done, neither coach is going to come out of this happy, you would think.
Pearson, magically, players from Miami who were down are up now that they didn't get the call, and the ball's gone the other way. Pearson gains. Pearson should see yellow for that. And he will.
Frustrated with himself there, Pearson, for not controlling the ball when it was played back to him. Picks up the yellow just to slow the match down. Yeah, shake of the head. So the worst possible result, a draw, is looming large.
And again, not for a lack of effort. Right now, shots are 13-12 Miami, 6 on target to 5 Miami. Expected goals as far as quality chances created, it's actually 1.54 for Vegas to 0.92 of Miami. Respectable for both these teams, just haven't beaten either keeper yet.
Again, I would just credit the goalkeepers.
And 2 minutes of stoppage time to see if that holds. Played through. Rosarena again sticks out the right leg.
Wow. Another fantastic save. And the man with second highest number of clean sheets in the USL.
Could be a minute and a half away from his 10th clean sheet this season. Sent toward goal, but blocked. It's been a very straightforward half. Rare to see only 2 minutes of stoppage in the second half, but it's been that kind of fast-paced, ball in play and on the move type of game. Blanco. Blanco deflected up for another corner.
It's hard to think these are two of the bottom teams in the entire USL because they've both played good football here today. They've both been attacking, they've both defended well at times, they've been creative, quality players on the ball. It's just, I guess, the early part of the season's been a disaster, and now it's just too late to catch up.
And also a testament to how good the league has been this year, that these are two of the quote-unquote worst the league has to offer.
Very true.
Maybe the last chance. Chested down, it's over the bar. Maybe a fitting way for the night to end. A chance like that squandered by Bonfiglio, who has been quiet tonight for Miami, second in the Golden Boot race. You would think a player like that only needs his one moment. That was his moment. Goes by the wayside, and that probably will do it here. 2 minutes of stoppage come and gone. Rosarena puts it into play. Referee says play on for now.
By the way, Bonfiglio, it's one thing him not scoring, but he's got to hit the target, though. Of all the players, got to force the goalkeeper to make a save, and he doesn't.
And there is the final whistle. It'll officially go down as a 0-0 draw, though it'll feel like a 0-0 loss for both of these teams, given what it means in both of their playoff chases.
Agreed with you 100%, and yet Rosarena has made some unbelievable saves to get that point for Las Vegas Lights. They'll feel like it's a point well earned. Nicolas Campisi made saves in the first half, and he'll feel he got a point for Miami. So two very well-earned points from each side, especially that man there in picture. But again, given what needed to happen, it's not the result that will work for either side.
And he's your man of the match, brought to you by Payblocks. Outstanding this evening. Franco Rosarena officially goes down with 6 saves. Every single one of those felt highlight reel tonight.
Oh, the one that he just clipped onto the crossbar, just brilliant. 10 clean sheets, again, fantastic effort. 2 very good goalkeeping performances here tonight.
Finishes as a scoreless draw between Vegas and Miami. We're back at Cashman Field in a moment to put a bow on things.
Finley Toyota has an unbelievable offer all month long. Now through the end of September, receive $500 towards your first year's registration with a purchase or lease of any new Toyota Tundra, Tacoma, or 4Runner in stock. Only at Finley Toyota in the Valley Auto Mall. Finley Toyota has an unbelievable offer all month long. Now through the end of September, receive $500 towards your first year's registration with a purchase or lease of any new Toyota Tundra, Tacoma, or 4Runner in stock. Only at Finley Toyota in the Valley Auto Mall.
It was always going to be a difficult path into the playoffs for either of these teams. It needed to start with a win from one of them tonight. It doesn't go that way in a 0-0 draw, but it was certainly entertaining between these two sides. Not all 0-0 draws created equally plenty of opportunity for both these sides tonight.
Yeah, great strikes, good shots, brilliant saves from both goalkeepers. A ton of action, second half especially. There was a few moments earlier on. Coleman Gannon getting a great first touch here, kills the ball, forces Campese into a decent save at his near post. And certainly Las Vegas Lights dominating the first half. Another little chance coming up here on the right-hand side. Coleman Gannon again a save from Campese.
From that point on, you really did think at some point Vegas were going to break through, but then it flipped in the second half. It was actually Miami, the aggressors.
So good, Miami. I don't know what they changed in the locker room, but Ricketts here with an effort that gets well saved by Rosarena. And it wasn't just they had shots, they seemed to control the match more, they created more, they were on the front foot more often, asking questions. Here they come again. Blanco gonna play it wide here. And a good shot and good save. Vasquez absolutely smashes this Excellent save from the keeper.
And not even the best save of the night from Arozarena. This is the best moment on the other end for Vegas. McNamara off the bar on the free kick.
Absolutely rattles that bar. Beautiful strike ball, dipping at the end. He's a quality striker of a ball. And then down they come the other way. This is going to be pulled back by Bent. And then absolutely smashed. And Arozarena does get a left hand to it. You spotted it. It's a brilliant save.
He was fired up after it. Final stats brought to you by Dave & Buster's. Not many 0-0 draws that see a combined 28 shots and 12 on target, but that's what happened tonight.
And I think, again, because two goalkeepers putting excellent performances, especially Arozarena, is just putting one of the best keeping performances we've seen in the USL this year. Brilliant in that sense. They created a ton of chances, not good, and they didn't take any of the chances, which has been the problem for both managers throughout the season and continues to be a problem.
Perhaps fitting in the end that it does end 0-0. Next for Vegas on the road, it's Louisville. Next for Miami, it's at home against Rhode Island. That's it for this week of USL Championship action. The next game you'll see is Wednesday between Birmingham and Tampa Bay. Well, two teams needed wins tonight to keep their playoff hopes alive. Neither eliminated yet, but that light gets a little dimmer after a 0-0 draw. For the crew that makes this possible, broadcast partner Gary Bailey, I'm Joe Malva saying so long for now. It's a 0-0 draw between Vegas and Miami. Good night, everybody.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.